It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see on the two-board screen. I like to get on here and give my unique perspective, because after 47 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a unique perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I like to get on and tell about it, because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Canada. Got some plays over in Canada this past week. Gracias, gratitude, toda. In Canada, I heard you guys had a kangaroo on the loose. For 4 days, a kangaroo was on the loose, and the police had to track him down to get him. And I heard when you got that kangaroo, he punched one of the cops in the face. What a bad kangaroo, acting all naughty and like a bad guy. What a bad, nasty kangaroo. Anyways, heard you got the kangaroo. Very cool. And just FYI, back in the day was school radio DJ, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just didn't have the clarity. If I just would have had more clarity, then maybe they would enable me to become a radio DJ. But I didn't, and that's what allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Some to debate might be true, might not be true, but I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, land, air, sea, water. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. Anyways, I can ramble how David won't. Let's get right to the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, do you like rap? Well, if you do, Sun Tzu Cosmic has been known to spit some rhymes. And a while back, he dropped a track called The Long Game. If you want to hear cosmic hip-hop like you've never heard in your life, alternative, experimental, crazy sounding rap, I'll put a link below to The Long Game by Sun Tzu Cosmic. Check it out now. Let's get into the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. And it's been a wonderful, beautiful week. The weather's been really nice. Because we're in the winter where I'm at. And a lot of times in the winter, it's very, very cold. Now don't get me wrong, it's been cold, but could have been colder. And I'll take that as a win. In fact, last week, I had to get something taken care of that was to be done outside. And the people that took care of it, the weather was nice so they could handle the business. And so the thing I need to take care of was taken care of. I have gratitude that people coming through and take care of what I need to take care of. It's very cool. I appreciate it. Because sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, in life, there'll be just some things that you just can't do yourself. Now, you should be very self-sufficient. You should work hard to be the best version of yourself you can be and learn all the skills you can learn and knowledge you can learn and all these things. But that being said, sometimes, someplace, somewhere, there'll be just something that you just can't do yourself. It happens to everybody. And when you need that, you gotta get professionals or people with skills to come through and assist you in your time of need. And the captain is no different. The captain, is a very skilled individual, but there's some things the captain needs some assistance. And I got some, so thanks you. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate it, gracias. And anyways, that happened. And also, I got to watch a little bit of two. I got to experience a little bit of the great game. Espionage, spy versus spies. Yeah, a little bit of that. Trench coats, fedoras. They're sneaking around, sitting on park benches. Yeah, this week, I got to go back to the spy world because I saw the show Slow Horses. And ladies and gentlemen, it is absolute madness. And I mean that in the best way possible. Before I get into a couple things. First of all, there will be spoilers. And second of all, I do own some shares in Apple. I just want to be clear and transparent to let you know. Now that I told you that, let's get into Slow Horses Negotiating with Tigers. Let me just say this from the jump. This show is absolute madness. And I mean that in the best way possible. When I was watching this week's episode, I was laughing like throughout the whole thing. Because it's just like craziness. The characters are absolutely crazy, bro. So when I was watching these last 3 episodes in the first 2 seasons, it just, what I finally realized is like a lot of the characters in this show, like, have no filter. They're very direct. And I think that's why I like the show so much. Because these characters just speak their mind. And when they do it, it's absolutely hilarious. A lot of the characters are doing that. But who does it the most is the star of the show, Gary Oldman, Jackson Lamb. I mean, he just has like no filter and just says whatever to whoever. He don't care what your title is. He don't care what position you got. He don't care what you look like. He don't care how strong you look, how weak. He don't care if you're a woman or a man. He don't care. He just speaks his mind, whatever he wants, and says whatever he wants. And I find it absolutely hilarious. And in this episode, Negotiate with Tigers, yeah, he did quite a bit of that. He was talking to prominent figures with lots of status. And didn't care. He just speaking his mind, talking mess. He's hilarious. Now, in the real world, you may bite your tongue, and you may not speak this way to people with a lot of status. Jackson Lamb don't care. He's like, I'm going to say whatever I want to. That's what makes it so funny. So what's going on in episode 3 is basically one of the wild horses has been kidnapped, right? That's what happened in the first 2 episodes. But it turns out in episode 3, they found out it was just kind of like a training exercise, and they're supposed to give Standish back. That's one of the wild horses. But turns out that's not what happened. So Jackson Lamb had to go talk to people. And like I just said a moment ago, he was direct. He was direct with everybody. He was so direct, just speaking his mind, trying to find out, where's my wild horse Standish at? Where's she at? I need her back. Because I don't got Standish, I don't know what to do with myself. So I'm just going to go around and talk to all you guys till I solve this issue. He's just talking to everybody any way he wants. He's hilarious. This show is just great. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend you watch it. Now, I've not looked at reviews or like any of that, but I did today. I mean, I've watched it for 2 seasons, watched the 3 episodes now, and I've not really looked to see what the community, the rest of the world, was thinking about it. So I just watched spy flicks to watch them because I love spy shows. It doesn't matter who's watching or who's not. Any spy show comes out, I'll be watching it, movie as well. And and half the movies and shows I watch, I don't know if people like them or not because I don't really look for that. But when I was online just looking around, whatever, it kind of just showed up. And apparently people are loving this show. And that's very cool. Finally, we got a mainstream spy show, bro. It's so cool. So yeah, I think you should take this journey because it is so funny. So yeah, it's great. It's funny. It's hilarious. But what I want to do is what I always do. I want to get into one aspect about the show that I noticed I want to kind of pull on a little bit. So in the show, the wild horse that got taken was Standish. She was kidnapped. And she was kidnapped by tigers, right? And I guess tigers are kind of like a red team. They went in to test the security of MI5 to see if they had good security. So they conducted an operation to kind of test that. And it turns out their security wasn't great because one of their operatives got snatched up. Standish got snatched up. So yeah, it wasn't great. And so what I thought about this is how we can apply it to our life, right? In our life, we have certain things that we do on a regular basis. Certain things we do, certain ways we act, certain ways we think. There's just certain ways of being, right? And so like a lot of times I'll sit in my house and I will evaluate my thought process. A lot of times mentally I do this, but I'm always evaluating my thought process, my lifestyle, and looking for holes or where I can do better. I'm essentially doing what tigers do for my life, in my mind, right? I'll just sit in here and I'll evaluate and think out like, is this the right move to make? Is this right? Is this the right move? Should I be doing this? And I will give maybe like possibilities why it's not. I mean, it's kind of similar to what they're doing, testing security of MI5, but I'm kind of testing my life path and is this the right way to move? And so it's almost like you want to test just your regular ways of being and see if there's ways you can improve upon them. It's kind of what they did in the show. So like in your life, you may want to consider evaluating your practices, your thoughts, your beliefs. I say this all the time, but should always be aware and ready to change and adjust if need be. If you're walking through life, you're living a certain way, being a certain way, And then if something is just not producing the results, or you're getting more losses than wins, then maybe it's time to adjust thoughts. Maybe it's time to adjust actions. We've always done it this way. Well, maybe it's time to do it another way. And it's kind of like what they did in the show with the Tiger team. Is they're testing the MI5 security. And in the show, by testing it and they failed, the people that run the MI5, we're going to implement some changes. So I just feel like we can apply that to our life and always be aware of what we're doing, how we're moving, how we're acting. Study it, look at it, analyze it, and be open to shift your thoughts, shift your habits, shift your actions to produce better results, better quality of life, right? Be your own Tiger team, and then always check up on what you're doing and how you're moving. I feel that's a good way. Maybe it's not, I don't know. Maybe just keep doing what you always been doing and that's working for you. I don't know. But like periodically, like a lot, like quite a bit, I'm always studying my mind. And another thing too, shut the TV off, shut the internet off, shut off all the distractions. Just sit with yourself and just kind of study, look at these things and think of how you're moving, how you're thinking, how you're acting. Give that Tiger team treatment and see how we're going to move forward. How are we going to get better? How are we going to improve? See, I feel that all these shows, there's always things we can draw from them and implement in our own life. If you just look, right? There's even what I talked about earlier with Jackson Lamb being direct, right? Maybe sometimes some directness and no filters needed. Now, when I'm walking around the planet Earth, I generally don't move like that. But maybe I should. Maybe I should be more direct with how I'm speaking. Maybe I should just be more blunt. Maybe I should, I don't know. But it seems to work for Jackson Lamb. But also be careful, because if you move and are direct like that, you're probably gonna get a lot of hate. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can't stand Jackson Lamb. But he's so great. I love him, he's great. So anyways, yeah, this show is absolutely fantastic. It's hilarious, it's funny, it's fun, it's crazy, it's wild. It's just so dope. So yeah, I highly recommend. If you want to see a spy show that's like the opposite of James Bond, something different, check it out. It's very dope. I think you'll enjoy it. And this concludes the podcast. And until next time, we'll see you. Do what is necessary. Me. Until next time, this is Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.